Hi, my name is David McLeod. In the late 1990s, as I started to do my personal growth work, I began to learn how some parts of my psyche had become detached or lost. I learned that at an early age in my life, certain events had happened that led me to take on beliefs about myself that persisted into my adult life. Those beliefs, for the most part, turned out to be quite disempowering. And because I had taken them on at such a young age, most of them stayed tucked away in my unconscious mind. In my case, the disempowering beliefs influenced me to work hard to please other people, to try and make them happy. But in order to do that, I had convinced myself that I had to modify many of my natural behaviors, that I had to hide certain parts of myself, that I had to pretend that certain characteristics or traits within me didn't exist. Now, to some degree, I was successful in disowning or hiding these parts of me. And so I was, in fact, able to please people in some ways. But what I hadn't bargained for was the side effects that would ensue as a result of my decision. For me, because I was essentially giving up a good portion of who I really was, the primary side effect was that I experienced a slow but inexorable increase in resentment and anger that I wasn't even aware of until it reached the point where it was impacting my children. By that time, the disempowering beliefs that I had taken on so many years earlier were very solidly entrenched in my brain. So it took a great deal of effort on my part to unravel those beliefs and to identify and heal the underlying childhood wounds that led to those beliefs in the first place. It was that deep work that brought me consciously into contact with my shadows for the first time. Now, initially, I had a lot of fear about doing that deep shadow work. My main concern was that people would really see my dark side and that they would hate me. But what really surprised me was that people didn't judge me harshly or avoid me. Instead, they actually seemed to draw closer to me. I realize now that they were probably appreciating my willingness to own what was true about me, and that they were resonating internally because my wounds were similar to their own. The other thing that amazed me about this powerful work was that I discovered that every single shadow I uncovered and healed held some wonderful blessings and truths about me that I had hidden away or forgotten about so long ago. It was thrilling for me to be able to reclaim those gifts and to reintegrate them into my life. So now, all these years later, after having visited some very dark places within myself and having healed some very old wounds, I no longer fear my shadow the way I did before. In fact, nowadays I find myself looking forward to my deep work in much the same way that an adventurer seeks to go where he or she has never gone before. I am ever curious about what I'm going to find next and what new gifts I'm going to uncover. If you have not already begun this process for yourself, I strongly encourage you to begin. May you develop a sense of excitement and adventure about healing and integrate all of your shadow parts, so that you are complete unto yourself, and so that you can express and experience the fullness of who you really are, all the time, without regret. I wish you love and blessings on your continuing journey.